Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Hey, before we get into today's topic, I'm going to take some time to let you know what's up with me personally. It might not have nothing to do with Cambodia, but I want to keep everybody updated. So if you don't like that, if you're one of those people who has HDD or something, and just wanted to get to the point, man, go ahead and feel free to skip ahead. But first, as a reminder, if you don't know, this is July, and that means it is my birthday month. I'd like to thank everybody who's already donated. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it, and thank you. And if you want to help support the channel, and what better time than during my 61st rotation around the sun? You can do so through either PayPal or Ko-fi.com, and there is a link in the description. It helps us out, it helps the channel out, and we truly appreciate it. But some big news right now. My debut horror novel. I've written 2 anthologies and a novelette, but this is my first full-length horror novel called Pray for Salvation. Is now available at the link in the description, along with all the rest of my books. If you like any of the things you see on your screen, small town horror, supernatural horror, multi-character horror, if you like hungry things in the woods, if you like any of that, you are going to love this novel. And as I said, you can purchase it at the link in the description, or just check it out and read the full description and see if it's something you'd like to purchase. And coming up, I do want to mention this. I have 3 projects coming up. One is going to be coming out later this year, probably within the next couple months at the latest. I'm just editing and working on formatting it right now, so it shouldn't be that long. But my next anthology of short horror stories, which is called Nothing Will Ever Be Fine Again. These are all short horror stories with no happy endings, and I got a bunch of good ones in there. I have ghost stories, I got cursed objects, I got dolls, I have slashers, I have the weirdly speculative story in there, and I even have one about rats and tattoos, evil tattoos. And the one about rats and evil tattoos is set right here in Cambodia. So my next anthology is coming up soon, along with a bunch of other stories in there, and be looking forward to that. And also, I'm working on a novella, which is called My Dreams Are Razor Wire, and this is about an old man, and he's one of the most notorious, prolific serial killers in history. He targeted young children. He hasn't spoken since his conviction, which was filled with enough physical evidence to convict him. He hasn't said a word, but now he's on his deathbed in the prison infirmary, and he's invited everybody, detectives, existing family members of his victims, the press, reporters and journalists. He's invited them all, and he is going to give his full account of his activities. But what they're going to find out is even more horrific than the crimes he's been convicted of. And it might even prove his innocence, if he's to be believed. Yeah, that's a novella, and that's coming out probably late this year or early next year. And then my next novel is already begun, and that should be finished by the end of November during NaNoWriMo month. And this one is called Strigoi. It's a creature feature with a twist. I got some exciting things in store, and you don't want to miss that. All right, thank you for listening to me ramble on about my personal life. A lot of people don't like that, but the majority of you are cool, so there you go. So when it comes to living in Cambodia, there are certain things you can do. You can learn from my mistake and mistakes others have made to hopefully make your stay over here a little bit more comfortable, a little less stressful. And today I want to talk about some of those things. And the first one I want to talk about is negotiating and bargaining for things, certain things. Except for places that have a fixed price, like the mom and pop shops and the Western style stores and things clearly with price tags or price ranges. Almost everything here is negotiable. It's so negotiable, in fact, that if you go to a local market and you want to buy some, some knickknacks, some souvenirs, pots and pans, rice cookers, utensils, anything like that, the prices are going to be set expecting a negotiation. They're going to be higher than what the seller actually wants to make. And they'll be happy to take it if you don't say anything. Trust me. But they expect a negotiation. It's very common here, even amongst locals. You should never take the first price for anything. You're going to buy, let's say a frying pan. Their first price is $8. Don't just accept that and whip out your wallet. Otherwise, you'll be known as a mark throughout the rest of that market. Somebody who they can just say a price and you'll give them money. You want to negotiate a little bit, and I'm not saying you're going to save a ton of money. You're not going to get half off. You're not going to get anything for $1. But I'm saying you can save $1 here, $1.50 here, and when you start buying stuff, that all adds up. And like I said, it's expected. That includes clothes at the local markets. You want a t-shirt, they say $5. You can easily talk them down to $3 because there are places in town where you can buy them for $2.50. So even at the higher price of having a stall at the market and having that overhead, $3 would still be a good price. And they will make a profit and walk away happy. You will get something for less than what the asking price was, so you will be happy. And bargaining here is not a competition. It's not mean-spirited. It's all meant so both parties walk away happy. And that's what we want. We want happiness. But that does not just extend to those things. Tuk-tuk rides, especially. Here's something I've learned, and here's something I want to tell you that might work for you. It might not, but I want to explain it to you. If you know where you want to go, the area you want to go to, and you have a set price in mind that you're willing to pay, start with that. Don't just walk up to a tuk-tuk driver or a pass app driver and say how much to get there, because he's always going to quote you a way higher price. Go up there and say, I want to go to Stock Realm for $1 or $1.25. And I'm telling you 99% of the time, because that's how much it is on their official Pass app. So 99% of the time, they're going to be happy with that. They didn't have to go through the app. No money's being taken out, and they'll take you there. And the other times, well, they might not want to negotiate. They might tell you, no, it's going to be $2 or $2.50 for a distance that's definitely not worth it. And, just go on to the next one. There are plenty of tuk-tuks and pass apps around. And that also applies to apartments. There are actually apartments in the marketplace that will advertise. Part of their advertising is the rent is negotiable. So they might say this apartment is $150, but you can negotiate that. Now, you're not going to save a lot of money. They're not going to go down by, $40, $50 a month or anything ridiculous. But you might be able to save, $10, $15. They want $150, try to talk them down to $125, and they'll counter with $140 maybe. And then you can counter with $135, and eventually you'll come to a number that's lower than what they started with. And again, that's money you'll save every month. So don't be afraid to ask for a lower price. And the worst they can do is just say, no, that's the price. I'm not taking anything less. And that's fine too. And then you can make a decision based on that knowledge. So yeah, definitely you want to negotiate for things here to the best of your ability. And although you might not be saving a ton of money, you will save enough. And like I said, it all adds up. Now, speaking of tuk-tuks, you're going to find that there are too many of them for the amount of people that actually want to take them at any given time in Siem Reap. And a lot of times, a lot of these drivers don't know how to read a map. or follow a map, and they have no idea where you want to go to specific places. Like if you just, you're going over to your friend's apartment across town, and you're trying to give them the address or a location, they don't know where it is. And they'll say they do, but when you get in, they start heading in the wrong direction, and it can be frustrating, and it can be, you have to try to tap them on the shoulder, get their attention. They're sitting all the way in the front on their motorbike, and it can be a hassle. So as soon as you can, the thing I would do is start learning where all the wats are, the pagodas and temples, and where all the local markets are, because every tuk-tuk driver knows if you want to go to Sakram, if you want to go to Salu, if you want to go to Sasamaki or the old market, they know where all those places are. Or if you want to go to Wat Demnyek, Wat Krasaum, they know where those temples are. And then once you get in that general area, you can guide them to the specific building you want to go to, because they might not know that specific building. They might have no idea what you want. So definitely learn your pagodas, your wats, and definitely learn when you're going somewhere where the local market is in that area. Once you get to that area, guide them from there, and you'll have no problem, and it'll be a lot less hassle. And going back again to apartments, when you go to look for an apartment, no matter which area it's in, you want to look twice. During the day, whether it's with an agent or not, you want to look during the day and check out the area. Does it have mom and pop stores? Does it have restaurants close? Whatever kinds of things you like to do. Does it seem like a nice family-oriented area? People are friendly, people going about their business, no problem, no hassle. But then you want to go to that same apartment, and you want to do it at night, later at night, 10, 11, midnight perhaps. You just want to go take a walk, take a ride down there, and just soak up the ambience. Because a neighborhood or an area that could be nice and quiet and friendly during the day could turn into something else at night. You could have a pack of stray dogs or neighborhood dogs that like to gather together outside every night and howl at the moon until 3 in the morning. Or you could have a karaoke bar with loud, obnoxious music racking your brain until midnight, 1 o'clock. You could have neighbors who you didn't know, but they like to sit out there with their buddies and party outside, sitting outside in front of their apartment until all hours of the morning. You never know. So even though the area during the day might seem like a good idea, always go back at least once at night before you make that commitment to make sure it's not going to interrupt your sleep, because that is the biggest complaint I hear from foreigners about renting apartments here, is how hellacious they find it at night with the noise. And I always think you should have went back at night to check it out, And those things do happen. Now, weddings and funerals, they can also be noisy affairs that last for a few days, but nothing you can do about that. You're going to get that occasionally in every area you live in. So that one, you just have to grin and bear it. But as far as your actual, forever home or whatever, always check it out during the day and always check it out at night. Now, when it comes to money, I've said this plenty of times before, but just to reiterate for those who might not have seen those videos, when you're dealing with the local currency of real, and you pay for something in real, or even US dollars, and you get change back in real, you want to stay at that counter or wherever you're at and count it before you leave, because mistakes do happen. They have happened. They will continue to happen. And it might not be anybody's fault, an honest mistake, but you want to count it and be sure the change is correct before you walk away, discover that you were shortchanged by 20,000 real, which is $5, and then trying to go back and try to convince them that, hey, I'm not trying to rip you off, you just shortchanged me. You really have no proof of that, because you accepted the change, you walked away. So you'll see the locals do that all the time. Whenever we go shopping, Singlai always counts the change meticulously before she even leaves the area. So yeah, you're not being rude or anything. It's just something you should do just to make sure everything is correct and you didn't make a mistake and they didn't make a mistake. And again, that makes everybody happy. All right, so I hope that helped you out a little bit. Thank you for listening to my rambling at the beginning. Be sure to check out all my links down below. And there are other channels vlogging from this part of the world. They are all down below. Great channels, good information. Be sure to give them a like, give them a subscribe, watch some of their stuff. It means a lot to them. And I think you definitely should, because I recommend them. And from Siem Reap, Cambodia, I will talk to you guys in the next one.